The next thing we're going to talk about is talking to people online that you don't know. Now, I put this up, 60% of kids talk to people online that they don't know, but it's so not even true. It's about 99%. And if you were here, with the kids were here, I asked them to raise their hands. And I start by saying, who's ever gotten a text message from someone they didn't know? Who's ever gotten a friend request from someone they didn't know? Whoever followed them on Instagram? Who's ever played an online game with somebody that they don't know? I mean, almost every single child will raise their hand. From, starting from middle school to high school, every single kid. So this is a really serious thing you need to talk about with your kids. And I think the best way to talk about this is to just start with this video.
Ooh, should I wear my black one with the white trim or my pink one?
You should totally do the polka dot, but send me a pic of both.
I don't know. I could get in trouble.
OMG, I would never show anyone, promise.
So this is a great video to show your kids. And the first thing I do is I say, why do you think that she was talking to a girl? Why did she think?
Because language.
Okay, so right, like OMG, right, okay. Yeah, what else?
Interest in what she was
Yeah,
her dress.
yeah, because, they'll find out everything you're interested in and they'll talk about that, right? What else? What about the username? Do you think it was Cheerleader 101 or do you think it was Scary Guy? What about the profile picture? Do you think the picture was of a girl or do you think it was of him? And I say, so how do you get a picture? How do you make a fake profile? I mean, how do you get a picture? And I ask the kids, and I don't tell them, I let them tell me. They say, oh yeah, you just go to Google, Miss Brown. I said, really? What do you Google? Girl. I said, oh, okay. And then what do you, and they all say, oh, or a friend. I mean, they come up with a lot of things. I said, well, how did they get it on? Oh, copy and paste, I said, so wait a second. Can you copy and paste any picture you want on the internet? Yeah. Then there's a couple of kids that'll say no. Well, I said, okay, well then you've heard of screenshot, right? You could just take a screenshot and then edit it down in Paint. So I said, so does that mean if you could take any picture that you want off the internet, does that mean anybody could pretend to be anybody? Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's one thing. But here's the thing is, I think the kids, you can say that all you want, but they actually think that they know more than we do, right? Say, well, so one time I'm at a school, Miss Brown, I'm talking to somebody online that I don't know, but it's totally fine. I said, oh, really? What? Why do you say that? I said, well, this kid is moving into our school in like 2 months, and so he's just trying to get to know people, and all of a sudden, everybody starts raising their hands. Oh, yeah, I've been talking to that person, too. I've been talking to that person, too. And the principal was standing in this big auditorium, and I said, Mr. Gatens, is there a new kid coming into your school? He said, no. And they're all like, it was just shock. And then, one time a high schooler said to me, well, I play people online all the time that I don't know. And all boys, this is what they're doing. If you're letting your boys play online games, they're playing people they don't know. And he says, oh, yeah, I'm totally safe. And I said, really? How do you know you're safe? He goes, well, I always ask them how old they are. And if they say 14, I play them. Yeah. So, I mean, my theory is I'm not telling you not to play video games. I'm not telling you not to use Instagram. I'm not telling you not to go online, but I think that you shouldn't talk to people online that you don't know, right? And the thing is that anybody who wants to meet somebody online is very good at tricking somebody. It's very easy, especially if the child is depressed or lonely, and then they get to know them, they can feel that right away, and then, oh, your parents are jerks, right? And, they play along, and they comfort you, and so it's really you got to really watch this, and everybody needs to watch this. Everybody needs to let the other parents know this is the kind of stuff that's going on,
And then what's the ultimate goal of these people? And I imagine it's to meet up, but how likely does
Yeah.
that happen, that they can convince that child to give that information to get them to meet up?
It happens all the time.
What happened with that principal? The one at the auditorium, did he ever I mean, when all those kids said that a new kid was coming to school.
Oh,
Did he do anything?
no, what could he do? We don't know who it is, you know?
Well, if everybody was talking, somebody had to have information on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, no, nothing.
So it was basically just,
I mean, that's not their responsibility. They'll be the first ones to tell you. It's not their
Oh, you might
responsibility to
never
do
tell me
anything,
that.
right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah, so the goal is to try to get them to, you know, they might say, they usually say that they're like, you know, if it's a girl, they're gonna say they're a boy who's in high school, a couple of years older. See, that's the thing is that, you know, we try really hard to keep our kids around nice friends and good people and, you know, respectful families, but this is giving them ability to talk to anybody in the whole world. And, you know, it is exciting for any of you girls to remember that if you, to be talking to an older guy, you know, or dating an older guy, or an older guy thinks you're pretty. And so, you know, of course you're going to meet them. You're going to meet them wherever they say, you know? And so it's very easy to, I mean, it's so easy to, oh, you won your soccer game? I mean, it's so easy to find out anything you want to find out. You go to Westfield High, you're on the varsity lacrosse team? Oh, what position do you play? I mean, 2 seconds, they can go online and figure it out. They can tell where you live. They can easily find out where you live. Every single picture that your child takes on their smartphone records the GPS of the picture, the longitude and the latitude. It's just like our phones use us to get to a, you know, to get to a location. So every time your kids and their friends are taking, you know, selfies, and they load them up, then it is right, I mean, the location is right there. My mom's at work, or I'm so psyched, you know. My mom's at my brother's soccer game. I mean, it's just, it happens all the time, you know.
Unless you disable it, right? You can
Yes,
disable
you can disable that, yes.
Right.
But what I meant happens all the time is kids talking to people they don't know and then meeting them.
Right.
You know, and that's what a bad guy is going to do. Their goal is to meet you. But it takes them, it's a grooming process, and their goal is to get the child just a one-on-one communication. Their goal is to get the child's cell phone number so they can have private communication, and you know they'll take a lot of time to groom that child. Yeah. Okay. Okay, go ahead. You can turn that off.